Welcome to our final video for week 3 of our course, this time on Claude Debussy. It has been so fun getting to read your interpretations of the materials for our German composers the past couple weeks and Fauré just yesterday. To avoid missing points moving forward, make sure you are justifying your response and doing the reading, as a lot of good information can be found in there. Anyway, on to our discussion of Debussy. Claude Debussy was born in Saint-Germain-en-Laye, a town close to Paris, and was taught by his mother. He began piano lessons with a student of Friedrich Chopin at only 8 years old, and at 11 he entered the Paris Conservatoire, easily the most important school in the 20th century. For the next several years, he played the piano pieces of Chopin and Robert Schumann, and was overcome with the works of Hector Berlioz. At 17, he composed his first melodies, and he began teaching piano at 18 to the children of Tchaikovsky's main patron. Debussy spent several months with the von Meck family in Russia throughout 1861 and 1862, and even accompanied the family on a trip to Vienna in 1862. In 1863, the Concordia Choral Society in Paris tapped Debussy as accompanist for the group, then led by Charles-François Gounod. In 1884, he won the illustrious Prix de Rome competition with his cantata L'Enfant Prodigue. The prize came with the mandatory 2-year study in Rome, and it was during this time that he studied Renaissance composers like Orlando di Lasso and Palestrina. He also met Giuseppe Verdi and Franz Liszt during his time in Rome. When Debussy returned to Paris in 1887, he was associated with the symbolist poets Paul Verlaine and Stéphane Mallarmé, a partnership that would help him develop his style into the now famous Impressionist movement championed by him in music and through the paintings of Claude Monet. Another large source of inspiration was from Eastern music he was exposed to at the Universal Exposition in Paris in 1889. Debussy's compositions didn't gain much traction until the 1902 premiere of his opera Péléas et Mélisande, at which point there were performances of his works throughout the world. The Schrock reading lists several notable performances, but I won't list those out for you now. He traveled to supervise several of these concerts, but had to stop after being diagnosed with colon cancer in 1915. Debussy wrote a number of works in several genres and composed a total of 87 melodies. He created a perfect fusion between poetry and music, as great as any other French composer. A huge focus of Debussy's was tone color, and in order to achieve these effects, he included incredibly detailed scores. Debussy set texts predominantly by Verlaine and Mallarmé, highlighting the poetry being written at the time. Nearly a fifth of all of Debussy's melodies were settings of Verlaine's poetry. Claude Debussy is seen by many as the French Hugo Wolf, due to both of their incredible diligence when setting their texts in many ways that seem impossible to imagine in a different light. Paul Bourget is the poet for our first focus, Bonsoir. This song sets the stage for his impressionistic style that would come later in life. The quiet scene depicted here is of the setting sun with a warm evening breeze. Paul Verlaine is the poet for our second focus, Clair de Lune. Debussy's piano piece by the same name is easily one of the most famous pieces in modern music history, even being featured in things like the Twilight series, as well as countless other examples in media.
Why, you have so much music. What are you listening to?
Claude Debussy. I don't know.
Yeah. Clair de Lune is great.
Here we have his Mélodie, Clair de Lune, written for voice and piano and included in his first collection titled Fête Galante. This collection of poems were published by Paul Verlaine first in 1869 and were inspired by paintings Jean-Antoine Watteau. The opening line of Verlaine's poem Clair de Lune says, "Your soul is a chosen landscape," and sets the tone of the tranquil pastoral scene that Debussy sets. Throughout this piece, you can hear poetic images including fountains, music, dancing, swaying branches, and looming above everything, the moonlight. Debussy highlights selected words with subtle music ideas, such as mode mineur, meaning minor mode, bonheur, meaning happiness, chanson for song, sangloter d'extase, or to sob in ecstasy, and triste for tears. And that's all I'll give away for right now. Enjoy the impressionist styles of Debussy as you complete your style sheet due Friday. Have a great week, and I will see you after the weekend for our talk on Maurice Ravel, and then it's quiz number 2 time. See you next time.